Hi everybody. So believe it or not, we are actually almost done with Unit 9, our CKLA unit. So we are not going to be doing any more read alouds. Today we're just going to be taking some time to review to make sure that we really can remember everything we've learned about so that you will be ready for our test that's coming up next week. So feel free to just watch the video, follow along. I'm going to help you finish one of your activity pages, and then you're going to do one more reading in your chapter today before you are all done. All right, so we're going to be working in activity page 12.1 together today to do some review and remind ourselves about all of these English and French explorers that we learned about, not the Spanish explorers. There were a lot of those guys. So make sure you have your activity book open to 12.1, and also make sure that you have your reader in front of you because we're going to be referencing the reader for this. And we're going to get started. So number 1 is John Cabot. Why did John Cabot explore and what was he looking for? So we know that John Cabot was an English explorer, and let's go and look at our picture of him here. Here's John Cabot. He was from England, and I'm going to go to my table of contents up here, and I'm going to go to page 64 so that I can read more about John Cabot and remind myself why he came to America, to North America. Okay, so here's John Cabot, and remember, we don't know much about John Cabot, but we do know, if we scroll down, that he was trying to find the Northwest Passage. Okay, and remember that he was trying to cross across the top of the globe to find the Northwest Passage, but he wanted to go around this way and he got stuck by the ice. Okay, so I'm going to put here, get my little typey thing out. And we don't have to write full sentences. Trying to find the Northwest Passage. I'm going to put that here. And let's see. I think that's also what he was looking for. So we're going to leave that there. How did they treat the natives? How did they treat their crew? So let's go back to see if there's any mention of natives here. He did find Newfoundland, and remember he found lots of fish, but we don't see much information here about Native Americans and meeting Native Americans. It does say he had a disagreement with some members of his crew and there was a shortage of food, so he had to turn back on his first voyage. It also says he had another much larger expedition, but he never came back. So we don't actually know what happened to him. And we just know that it was hard sailing, that the sailors had to work hard, and that a lot of them got disease. So I think what we're going to write here is he did not meet natives. Life on Cabot's ships was hard work. Okay. Achievements. What was their greatest achievement? Well, he never found the Northwest Passage and he was never heard from again. So we can say he was not very successful. But he sort of started the trend of trying to find the Northwest Passage. So we could put that here. Gave more people the idea to look for the, I'm going to put NW Passage so we have space. Make this shorter, not successful. There we go. All right, so that's John Cabot. Let's talk about Henry Hudson. So why did Henry Hudson explore, and what was he looking for? Now, I'm going to take us back to the chapter about Henry Hudson. And remember, we read this just the other day. This first sentence gives us a good clue. John Cabot was not the only person who wanted to find a northwest passage to the Indies. English explorer Henry Hudson had the same goal. Great, now we already know why he explored. He was looking for the Northwest Passage. Looking for the Northwest Passage. Okay, how did they treat the natives? How did they treat their crew? Let's go down. Don't see anything about natives or crew yet. Nothing yet. This is when he went to North America and he visited the Jamestown settlement. Oh, here's a picture of natives. Maybe we have something here. Hudson and his crew encountered many Native Americans of the Algonquin-speaking tribes on their trip up the river. Some Native Americans tried to attack them, but others visited the ship to trade. So remember, he ate his dinner with the Native Americans and he traded with them. So actually, he was pretty nice to the Native Americans. We're going to put that here. We're going to say traded and ate dinner with natives. Okay, but we have to say how he treated his crew, and I don't know if you remember, but it wasn't as good. Remember, it says his men were tired of exploring and were threatening to mutiny. That means they were going to revolt. Okay, and then remember further on, in the end, the sailors mutinied. They put Hudson, his son, and some others they did not like in a small open boat and sailed away. So eventually his crew were so upset with him that they left him. And we learned that traveling with him was not that great because he kept on wanting to explore, but most of the men wanted to sail back to England and they were fighting and people were getting ill with scurvy. So we can say, but he didn't listen to his crew and they fought back. Okay, that's Henry Hudson. What was his greatest achievement? Well, remember, the Hudson River is named after him. It says that here. Here. The River Hudson, discovered on his third voyage, was later named after him. So he never did find the Northwest Passage, but he did discover, he was the first European to find the Hudson River. So we're going to put that here. We're going to say found, or first European to see the Hudson River, which was named after him. I'm going to make this smaller. After him. Okay, you can try to make that shorter if it doesn't fit in the box with your handwriting. Okay, we've got one more. And I'm going to ask you to do this one yourself because we just learned about Samuel de Champlain. So you should remember all of this. If you can't remember, you can go into your book to page 84 and hit chapter 10 and see if you can try to remember, why did he go to North America? What was he looking for? How did he treat the natives? How did he treat his crew? And what was his greatest achievement? Okay, so see if you can finish this last column on your own. Look for clues in your book. And when you're done, you're going to be reading this chapter that comes after. This is chapter 11, I believe. Yep, the fur trade and Samuel de Champlain. Okay, so you're going to read more about the fur trade and answer these true or false questions in your book on activity page 12.2. Make sure that if it's wrong, corrections means that you have to tell me what's actually the truth. So if beaver fur was not popular because it was thick and waterproof, you have to tell me why it was popular. And then tell me the page number, okay? So go ahead and get started. Let me know if you need help. You can always email me. Good luck.